everybody, welcome back to Mint Out of the Box. I am your host, the godfather of toys, the J-Bomb. As you can tell by my over-exuberance for this episode, considering no one watched last week's episode, shame on you. We're back. As you saw, the Chiron, it's a special episode. And anytime here at Mint Out of the Box, when we have a special episode, it is a championship belt unboxing.
What kind of belt did you buy me now?
And when you hear that voice, and it's a voice we actually need to talk to right now, the disembodied voice, the lovely one, my life, my wife, producer Steph. This episode is, well, pretty much all the belt episodes have been made possible because of you being in my life. But this one came kind of out of the blue. What prompted you to provide this amazing belt for the one you love? Dead air.
I was like, wait, did I buy it for you or did I buy it for me? I had watched you watch it and watched you talk about it and talk about the different colored leathers you would like and the difference between the black one and the white one, and you really like it, but you never buy the trigger when you buy belts. So
as you can tell, most guys lay around and talk about how all the things they want to do to their hot young wife, but I get her alone, I get her in the bed, and I talk about what kind of leather I want on my championship belt. But
so here we are today with another belt episode.
That's what makes me the godfather of toys, the J-Bomb, and owner of all this. As I talked about last week in part 1 of the show, I wanted the Dynamite Kid figure, and I missed the initial offering on Chayla Toys, so I went and found its secondary market at JB's Toys and Championship Belts. So I followed them on Instagram so I could talk producer Steph into eventually doing my dirty work and ordering the figure for me. And I saw the amazing photos they were putting up of belts, and the first one I saw was this one, and it is actually the NWA television title, made famous Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, Nikita Koloff, Sting, Mike Rotundo, kind of in the mid to late 80s. The stunning Steve Austin, they've actually just recently put out a figure and belt commemorating his run of that title. Very iconic. I'll get into some of the details of the belt, but it was literally a belt you can get everywhere. I've seen it for dirt cheap. I've seen it for super expensive. I've seen it all over. And I've wanted it for years. I don't know why I've never pulled the trigger.
You're waiting for me.
I was waiting for producer
Luckily,
Steph.
it was a different trigger than you thought you were going to be getting from me.
Day ain't over. So, anyway, I started talking about it. And like I said, producer Steph went behind my back, started contacting the company. They looked at their DMs and saw how I'd been talking about it.
They did. He gave me the information because I was like, because I didn't want to ask you. My goal was to surprise you when it shows up, but I don't have a very good track record of keeping secrets.
It's true.
So I told you. I told you probably a week in after I ordered it, because I wanted to confirm what color strap you wanted. But he was nice enough to go back in the messages. I gave him your Instagram and see what you had been looking for, and he gave me the details, and I just confirmed it with you because, man, I don't know what happened if we had to buy 2.
Then we wouldn't have to choose leather.
Exactly.
Dear diary. Well, anyway, I already unboxed it, looked at it, because I didn't want to be surprised and disappointed on air. But I'm here to tell you right now. Disappointment would be the furthest thing from my mind. And with that, he sent it in a nice real box, which is a very good sign, because I know we weren't gonna get our address on there or your name. Calm down.
I kind of use my real name.
Yeah, I know. But I'm not. This ain't my first rodeo.
Are you sure?
You ain't the first girl.
You sure about that?
You ain't the first girl I had up in here. So, as we take it out, this is a magnificent belt. I cannot stress enough what a quality piece of work this is. The thickness of the belts, the paint, the etching, the leather, the cut, the condition.
We all know how picky you get with the cut of the leather.
The condition, the back with the kind of the snakeskin back. I kind of went against the grain and got an untraditional version of it. The Pope and the D'Angelo Dinero kind of went to this white belt, so it is kind of a mainstream color now. But I just thought it popped on the white with the red, so I wanted to get it. Everything on it is quality. I mean, if I had to complain about anything, I'm gonna have to wipe some fingerprints off. And I don't mind doing that because I do that anyway. That's probably the worst thing I can say about it, if that's a thing. JB's Toys and Championship Belts. If you're in the market, and I didn't get into this last week, but what I wanted to get into this with is the way they explained it to me. There's a 3-tiered pricing. Does that sound correct?
Yes.
Producer staff. And do you have that pulled up?
No, but I can.
And I'll break that down to you. But like I said, I'll get there's the back. It's got, like I said, got the snake skin looking leather. The white, there's no cracking in it. The actual stamping of the leather, all uniformed. Nothing where it looks like someone got off kilter. Do you need me to pull it up?
No, because they had to restart their Instagram because of some complaints.
Oh, yeah, that's
which is crazy. But either way, depending on obviously your normal ranges, your thickness, your leather, all of that. Honestly, though, super affordable for what you get.
Which tier did you get?
I went mid.
This is the what I would call the economy mid-size model. There is a cheaper version and there's a more expensive version. I will tell you right now, I'm not one of these dudes that's on Instagram now that has every championship belt they have out there. But I will tell you that, like I've told a story 1,000 times before. The first thing I ever looked up on the internet when the internet was invented was getting championship belts. And that was the first thing I did. And I bought one from Joe Marshall, who at the time was making his JMR belts, was making belts for the WWF. And I got their Intercontinental belt. Well, then I ended up ordering from Dave Milliken, who is, a legend in the belt making industry. I had 2 of his belts. I will tell you, and like I said, I'm not being paid by JB's Toys. I didn't get any special discount. I didn't get anything. I paid full price. Well, I'm pretty sure I paid full price for this. I
did not. Because what do I always do?
What?
I just told him, hey, do you offer a nurse discount?
The nurse discount. But I mean, when I say that, I didn't get any special discount or anything to say anything nice on here. And I made it specifically clear that, hey, if I get this thing as a piece of crap, I'll say it's a piece of crap, because I've done that on here before.
Oh my gosh, that belt was horrible.
This, I would put this up here with the 3 belts I got from Joe Marshall and Dave Milliken. I would put this belt right up there next to these any day of the week. I would sit there. If the Milliken belts weren't stamped with his name, and the Joe and the JMR belt was branded, because he wouldn't brand the belts at the time with the WWF logo. If I sat all these belts up there, all 4 belts next to each other, you would not be able to tell the difference. That's how good this is. And I'm not saying this to try to get more business in the future from JB's Toys. I'm just telling you because I know the disappointment of going out there and buying a belt and spending, even if you spend as little as $200 for a belt, that's $200. I mean, that's a lot of money now for anybody at any time to buy a piece of crap. If you buy from JB's Toys, if this is their mid range, and I can put this up there with a JMR belt. I want to buy the AWA inmate belt next, and I'm going to order it from JB.
Are we?
Yes. And I'm going to get the top of the line one.
Well, see, because they do custom belts too, so it's like you can make it however you want to make it. Like, they have options for the side plating, they have options for everything. So really, anybody can get exactly what they want for such good quality. Because I know nothing about belts, absolutely nothing.
Yeah, for someone who doesn't know nothing about belts, you should buy a lot of them.
Yeah, I know what happened. But at the same time, like, when you got that one belt, the ugly one, the horrible one who left paint chips all over my bed just by unpacking it, like, I can see the difference in the quality. I can see the difference in the leather, the stitching, the plates, and that's from me not knowing anything.
And this, my biggest regret right now is I don't have anywhere to display this, because we're in the process of packing up our life and moving eventually. But God, this is, I don't believe I waited this long to pull the trigger on this belt, but I'm glad I did, because one, I love the color scheme. I love the
You only have one other white belt.
Yeah.
Where'd you get that one?
Christmas. Andre. What's the company?
Fandu
belts. It's funny. I got the Andre Giant figure that came with that belt today. Like I said, this has more meaning to me now, because it's such a unique belt, and plus I had, my wife got this for me, so this will hold a special place in my heart till she leaves me, and I have to sell it to pay for my divorce.
Shut up.
So my other 3 belts went. Don't look at me like that. All you gotta do is prove me wrong and stay married to me, and buy me more belts.
How long has it been?
For what?
How long have we been married?
How long have we been married?
How long have we been married?
Almost 2 years.
How long have we been together?
Feels like a lifetime.
Feels like forever.
JB's Championship Belts, or JB's Toys and Championship Belts. That's a long title. Look for them on Instagram. They post amazing pictures of belts and figures. I'm telling you, check out, DM them if you see something you like. I'm telling you, if you're gonna spend the money and you want something quality, get it from them, or take your chances with something you see on Amazon, or take something you might see on eBay. And if you want to do that, go back through my videos. Please go back through my videos and look at them, because fucking no one else is. Go back and check out my belt. My belt videos actually get a lot of views. And go back and check out some of the reviews I've had of crappy belts I've received. And there's more than one. And like I said, I don't know how it is and for people nowadays, but I remember I had just bought my house. I was a young man, and the internet just come out. And I remember sitting in an empty house with the Intercontinental belt I got from Joe Marshall.
You don't say.
And opening up and just how proud I was to have that thing. Had nowhere to put it. I had this nice house, this beautiful belt, nowhere to put it. That's how important getting a belt was to me. And now we live in a day and age where you can get a version of any belt you want, but if you're going to spend the money and you're going to have a collection like this, or you're going to put something out there that you want to display, that you want to put over your shoulder and walk around weirdly at a wrestling convention, get something quality. And you cannot get any more quality and affordable than JB's Toys and Championship Belts. I hate to keep putting them over. I will put their information all over this video. So if you want to check it out, like I said, hit their Instagram, check their website, and please, if you get a belt, tell them the Godfather Toys sent you. Again, I get nothing out of it. I got no deals with them. I'm not getting anything from sending them business, other than knowing that the people that watch my show take my recommendation and go out and purchase a quality piece of wrestling memorabilia. So, like I said, we'll take some pictures and we'll throw this all throughout the show. Thanks again for joining me for this special episode. Again, thank you, producer Steph, for loving me like you do and giving me this. It's kind of ironic. It's red and white and it's a Valentine's Day gift. I love it. And I'll also throw a picture of me and Arn Anderson. I was holding his TV belt, the black version of it. So who knew in 2 months' time I'd be holding two different versions of the NWA television belt. A belt I fell in love with back in the 80s.
I knew.
She knew. A belt I fell in love with back in the 80s. I still remember.
When in the 80s?
Starrcade 1980, probably 85. When you were 1. I still remember Starrcade 87 when Terry Taylor and Nikita Koloff had the television title unification. Ironically, one of the first belts I got from Joe Marshall was that UWF television belt, which I do not have anymore because of picking the wrong wife. But now I have the TV title back in my possession. A version of it. But like I said, this belt was always special to me because I cut grass to pay for cable so I could watch the TBS show. And this belt was on there prominently. Like I said, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard. The summer of 1987, the Great American Bash, Worldwide Wrestling, playing the role-playing wrestling game at Bernie's house with Smurlo. Me, Smurlo, Bernie, Vin, Chris. We would play this role-playing game. We'd sit there all night and just play this role-playing wrestling game. We were such dorks. Every Tuesday night we'd watch Worldwide Wrestling and you'd see the NWA TV belt with Tully Blanchard. It was a great time to be a kid, a great time to be a wrestling fan. And like I said, I can't remember what I did 2 days ago, but I can remember those nights like it was yesterday. And as you know, that's the theme. The reason why I do this show is to kind of keep us connected to those memories, keep us connected to those moments in the past that all it takes is seeing something like this, or seeing something like this, or seeing something like this, or seeing something like this that brings you back to that time. No, producer Steph, not you, because you were 3, and I'd have a lot of issues, a lot of things to explain.
I thought we were ending this episode.
So, multiply that by about 10, 15, 20 more years where I could legally look back at you and go, okay, yeah. So, again, one last time, JB's Toys and Championship Belts, look them up, order something great. They do an amazing work, amazing quality. Thank you again, James. Thank you again for dealing with my wife. Thank you for keeping track of my DMs with you and finding out, and letting her know what I wanted. And thank you for all your communication, all the hard work that's got put into this, and making this whole belt buying experience memorable, easy, and with zero regret. So that's it, guys. That was our special episode. Join me next week, and we'll be back to our regularly scheduled horse shit.
No, we won't. We'll be out of town.
No, we won't. Next week we won't. No, your birthday is literally Friday, and I thought we were leaving on the 13th. Okay? Next Sunday is the 7th.
I just wanted to make sure on camera you remembered when it was.
Remember what was?
My birthday.
It's Cinco de Mayo. And trust me, Mini Mexican has been partying on Stephanie's birthday. See you later.